Good morning, everybody. Welcome on Sial TV. I'm Jeanne Baron and thrilled to be with you today. Here in the Sial, we also talked about the other citizens of the world and the other Sials. Sial is everywhere. To talk about it right now, Jeanne Cook, thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure.
And welcome to the Sial Paris. You represent the Sial Middle East, and we're going to be talking about it in a few minutes. Pinar, you're now like me, you're one of the guests of this show all the time, every day. Welcome back to the show, Pinar.
Thank you.
You represent Euromonitor, and also you are going to talk about the Middle East. So, first question, Pinar, what did you see about the trends in the Middle East comparing to the rest of the world? What is really different? What is the market? Tell us about it.
Yeah, the Middle Eastern market is actually one of the most dynamic markets globally. We talked about Indonesia and the Philippines before. So some of the trends we see in these markets prevail in the Middle East as well. But I think the Middle East is a bit more advanced in terms of product launches and in terms of the dynamism of the population and the younger population especially. So we see a lot of demand for healthier products, specifically for reduced fat, reduced sugar options, because consumers increasingly want to control their weights. And also the government wants to curb the skyrocketing obesity rates.
Really?
Yes.
How do you explain that? Why especially in the Middle East?
Well, the UAE and Saudi especially, Saudi Arabia, has one of the highest obesity and overweight rates after the Pacific Islands in the world, ahead of the US, Mexico, well, the American countries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's because of the sedentary lifestyles, I would say, because people sort of don't do sports that much. They have quite heavy meals, and the lifestyle doesn't allow to burn fat, and so they basically want to control it through their food intake, and that's why the demand for better for you products or for fresh, natural, organic products is increasing.
Mm-hmm. Jeanne Cook, you seem like agreeing with Pinar right now.
I do agree, and it's also reflected in the diabetes rates, which are extremely high in the Middle East too. Volume of food and lifestyle certainly contribute, but also there's quite a strong sweet tooth. It's also the type of products that are being consumed, and there's a lot of sugar in much of the products that are
It's like it's very cultural.
Exactly.
In the Middle East, you cook for your kids. So you do the cakes, the ancestral cakes and all that. So people keep eating them.
We keep eating them, and they're very much there. Every meeting, every gathering, we like to eat together and share together. So it's nice. But,
it's absolutely lovely.
Exactly. It's very social. But certainly we are starting to address the trend in health challenges now.
So what kind of real change you can see from your Sial point of view?
Well, having lived in the Middle East for more than 12 years, I've seen changes, many changes in that time, but it includes the growth of the organic, sugar-free and healthy products. Not only are standalone stores focusing on these sectors growing, but the supermarkets, and if you look in the supermarket, the shelves and the sections for organic, for sugar-free or low-fat, they're growing and growing. So people are really starting to take notice. I think something outside of retail that is also a contributor is the unusual statistic in the Middle East that 60% of our spend is on food service. We eat out. And 40% is spent at retail. So also controlling what we eat and knowing what's inside the food we eat out a lot.
So we need to control what we eat when we're not at home.
When we're not
cooking.
at home, we're not paying so much attention to the ingredients that are going in. We're enjoying the taste.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
How can you explain that people eat more and more outside in the Middle East? They have more money, they have more power?
No, because it's all walks of life. There's a very large expat community in the UAE in particular. But even if you look into the surrounding countries, again, it's quite cultural. To eat out it's a way for everyone to gather together. It's relatively low cost, actually, because, again, there are many choices. There's a lot of fine dining in the UAE, but across the region, there are many different types of food that you can buy, usually available 24 hours a day. So I've certainly been meeting with friends at the small hours of the morning to gather for a meal.
You're very passionate when you talk about it. We want to come with you and have dinner in the Middle East. No, I'm telling you, honestly. We get that feeling.
We love food. We love food in the Middle East.
I can tell, but also you're very good, you know. You're not fat, you look very healthy. So it looks like we should actually learn from what you do.
That's much appreciated. I think in the UAE in particular, we do have a bit more of a balance. So our lifestyle does include being active. Again, the government have been making really strong drives in the schools, and certainly even in our company, we have a sports afternoon. We like to stay very active. I think walking around Sial is good exercise for everybody.
It's a very, very good one. It's huge, actually. Pinar, by the way, I do have a question for you. Does it mean that there's two new trends? One for agriculture, because people want to eat healthy, they want to control what they eat. And also, another one to keep like the cultural things, to control it, but still have like the taste, the joy, the delicious way of testing the elements. What do you think about those two trends? Is that like the main trends right now in the Middle East?
I think these two trends coexist somehow. So there's definitely the need or the desire to control your body weight, and the government is helping that by putting, for example, exercise equipment in the parks, or introducing, walk paths or cycle paths to encourage people to do more sports. There's also like more shelf space dedicated to healthier products in the retail outlets, but also we see in the UAE particularly a lot of investment in confectionery biscuit products from Russian companies, Turkish companies, from the European companies. So they want to basically set up their production facilities there, because chocolate confectionery in particular is said to be one of the fastest growing categories in the UAE, along with other markets like India and Indonesia. So we at Euromonitor identified UAE in particular as an excellent target market for confectionery product. So on the one hand, you have this sort of move towards healthier product, and on the other hand, people still want to indulge. People still want to treat themselves to something good and don't want to give away what they're used to, because it makes life sweet.
Joanne Cook, you seem to agree with what Pinar just said.
Again, absolutely. I can speak from personal experience. When I had my first daughter, my first child in the UAE, the first thing to arrive at the hospital was an absolutely huge tray of high-end chocolates as a celebration.
You're lucky. I'm jealous right now.
That's why I had a second child.
That's why I don't have another one yet, but should follow you. No, but honestly, Pinar, I do have a real question for you. We talked about many continents. We talked about many countries. If you had to pick up one, where you think that the trends are amazing, when you think that this is the example that we have to follow, what would it be? Would it be Middle East? Be honest.
No pressure.
No pressure at all.
I think Middle East may be too big of a region, but UAE is definitely a country to keep an eye on, because it has a really interesting mix of expatriate population, so from the West, which helps to set up the trends. Also, its domestic population has a completely different sort of food culture, and so it's a combination of the East and the West in a way. And I think it will set an example for the future for other regions. Yeah.
Could you imagine that we will see the frozen yogurts? You know why I'm asking you that question? Because all the time here on that sofa where you are, the two beautiful ladies, everybody's telling me the future is the frozen yogurt. And I'm like, really? Yeah, frozen yogurt. So also in the Middle East?
I wouldn't say yogurt, but labne, like more of soft cheese. So cheese is absolutely essential for the Middle Eastern diets. They put, especially the soft cheese, they love it, and they put it on everything. Even they dip it, eat it dipped in bread. So cheese and yogurt, cheesy yogurt. I guess
Yogurt.
cheesy yogurt.
Cheesy frozen yogurt of the future.
Absolutely. I think dairy is a very, very important sector. I mean, one of the largest dairy companies in the world, Lactalis, French company, have the largest factory in the entire region they've put in Saudi Arabia. We have bakery companies setting up in Abu Dhabi. I think you're right. I think the combination of East and West works very well.
It's a good combination.
You know, it's a hub. The UAE re-exports so much of what it brings in to the wider community. And it's a diverse wider community. When we look at go slightly further afield and look at Iran, Iran is officially the world's youngest country in terms of the number of people under 25. And I have certainly found that the younger a population is, especially if that's the large part of the population, they want new. They want to be modern. They want to look and they want to be forward-thinking. And I think that helps. And the UAE is certainly at the center of that.
Joanne Cook, this is the end of this show, but if I could make you a wish, only one wish, what would you be your wish for the Sial Middle East? What will be the future for you?
For the future of Sial Middle East, I think my wish would be for it to continue its extremely strong food service angle. We've been very lucky with the VIPs that attend our show, and the wish would absolutely to be able to grow slowly, strategically, and to continue to reflect the nature of the UAE. We want to be that regional hub.
Message is given. Thank you so much, Joanne Cook, for coming.
Pleasure.
I remind that you're from the Sial Middle East, and thank you so much, Pinar, for coming.
Pleasure.
I wish I'll see you again, because it was really cool. You are from Euromonitor, and thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned on Sial TV for sure.